Oh man, I gotta edit a video before I go to bed so I can put it up tomorrow. Yay. Let's see. Are things going? Things are going. Hey guys, so we're back to the Hanako route. I don't like the name of this. Like the save point I was at.
Oh, that's right. We're close to the end, actually.
Just by that name, wow, they don't leave any imagination, do they?
Well.
We rush to get to the gate as fast as we can, only to find that the taxi has yet to arrive. Well, nothing like a bit of exercise in the morning. Oh, why does my head hurt?
It would have been better if he said nothing like a little exercise in the morning, you know? Because,
yeah. The nurse told me that I should be doing that.
Oh my, I think he probably had other things in mind. Number two, and probably with more regularity. You intend to be helping people with their luggage every day. I do not allow it. You are my pet. You will only help me with my luggage.
I guess not, but Lily, what if someone really needs help?
What? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
What? Help? What is this? Help? That's what I call the maids?
No.
The Mexicans who live in my manor before?
No. The word help basically means that you're assisting
Mexicans.
someone. No,
the Mexicans.
No, you're assisting someone.
Yes, because that is what they were born to do. It's their job.
No. Okay, what if someone came up to me and said, "Hey,
yes.
Can you help me carry this thing?" I would say yes, just to be nice. Hey, Dawn.
Why? Why would you do that?
Just to be a nice person. To help them out.
Nice person?
Yes.
What is this?
I'll tell you about it when you get home. Anyway, it looks like we have got a bit to wait. How long should we wait for the taxi before calling them again?
Oh, I would say another 10 minutes, but they've never let me down before. It's probably just a little traffic.
Okay then. How long is the flight to Scotland?
About 16 hours, if I recall correctly. You know, us gods, we exist on a different plane of time. It's a bit hard to tell with the changing time zones and the being a god and such.
Aren't you just the god of bread?
No. I am the god.
Of bread. Because
No.
you started calling yourself a god when you brought us bread. So you're the god of bread.
Bread represents creation.
I'm not falling for that, Lily.
And fertility. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this one. So long.
Now that I realize Hanukkah's been unusually quiet, even for her, she doesn't handle stress so well, so she's looking really uptight. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a plane for that long. We were flown on a short family holiday up north, so it's really quite hard to fathom. If Hanukkah spent so much of her childhood at an orphanage, she's probably traveled very little, let alone flown.
Oh, it's not too bad. I'll spend most of it either asleep, or catching up on my English, or maybe creating stuff, got stuff. I hardly use that there. use that here, so I need to familiarize myself with it a little.
Will your accent be a problem?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that too much. It may be an issue initially, but it should be fine once I get used to it.
We all moved to sit down on a small bench beside the school gate in silence. Strangely enough, even though that I know that Lily's gone away, I can't think of anything to say to her. Lily is a reliable person, so it might be because she isn't the one I'm thinking about the most. Excuse me. Lily might not be able to see it, but Hanako's chewing her fingernails nervously. I move to talk to her, but I can hear an engine straining up the hill before I get a chance. I think the taxi's on its way.
Well, spotted his owl. I heard it like 50 minutes ago.
A small wave of pride washes over me to have noticed something at the same time as Lily must mean I've become more aware of my surroundings.
No, you haven't. I did it 50 minutes ago.
Okay, Daredevil. Anyway, we won't have to call the taxi company nor worry about missing Lily's plane. Once the taxi stops where we're standing, the driver rolls down his window and leans over. After confirming that yes, Lily is the same Lily Sato that booked the trip, we sort out her luggage. The driver opens the trunk of the taxi and takes Lily's suitcase, with Lily climbing into the back seat as he loads it into the trunk and slams it shut. After getting back into his seat and shutting the doors, he waits for us to say our farewells.
Have a safe trip, Lily.
Take care of yourself. Hanako looks understandably downcast, not much is obvious even in her voice.
Deuces, bitches. Of course, I will. I'll be back before long, don't worry. There will still be another person for you two. Won't there, Hisao?
Yeah, of course. I returned to smile to Hanako, putting my hand on her shoulder. She only managed to keep eye contact with me for a couple seconds, her cheeks all red the while, before turning back to Lily. See you, Lily!
Goodbye.
Lily gives her farewells to us both with a fair measure of reluctance. Without further ado, the driver starts the engine once more and they begin their journey down the hill and towards the airport. The two of us stand out at the gate for a long time, even after they disappear from sight, not really knowing what to do. So, what do you want to do?
I don't know.
This is a bad ending. Like, this is a decision that leads right to a bad ending.
You did research?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, I did. Like, I saw the art for, if you choose the, like, they made, like, special art for this bad ending, and it was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Well, we know what option to pick next time when we go through our bad end stream then.
Alright, so I'm not going to tell you exactly. I want you to go through your thought process, and then I'll tell you after. Which one?
I'm trying to remember, what day is it in the game? Is it Thursday or Saturday?
It's Lily Day. Because every day is Lily Day.
Because if that's the case, because it's earlier in the day,
right,
it'd be nice to... It wouldn't be a good idea to take Hanako into the city if we call it, but at the same time, taking her in the city could pose a chance for a possible date. But calling it a day is a possibility where me and her could just play chess.
So which one are you leaning more towards?
Well, knowing Hanako's personality, her being being shy and not wanting to be around people, I would think calling it a day would be the better option.
Right.
Is this correct?
No, you want to go into the city.
Ah, okay. So calling it a day gives me a bad end.
You see, as a master of romance, I understand when there is an extremely out of character decision like this. It usually means a big spike of character development, and you go for it.
The big spike of character development is going into the city and Hanako possibly breaking out of her shell. Knowing that, knowing how someone can be when they're in public and if they're shy. And
You mean how I am in public?
yes. Okay, we're going to the city. The bus stops, standing by the school gates like a mute sentinel. What, are we playing X-Men now? Okay, then.
I told you this is a school for mutants.
None of us have power. How are we supposed to beat this thing, then?
Hey, how's it going?
I saw an attack!
What?
Kill the giant robot.
That's a bus. Have you never seen one before?
No. I come from the city.
I'm
We
coming
don't
on your
have
day.
buses. You can just... Only if you promise to be
Haruko
good.
wants me to come.
Promise to be good.
Let's go.
Puts a strange idea in my head. Do you want to head into town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot, as Hanako doesn't like going into the city. I count the fact that we managed to get her out here, even though when it was so dark as a small oracle, but I genuinely want to spend more time with her. Anyway, she's like her refuse and go back to...
Okay.
Nani the fuck?
Master of romance powers.
Really? It does look cute, Don. I like her hat. I really like that hat. Hanako, you should give me your hat.
Why would I give you my hat?
Because it's a cool looking hat.
Yes. You don't deserve it.
Really?
Really. Really. Let's just go. Forget about my hat, you fucking loser.
I can't work out why Hanako has decided to agree with me, but I'm not going to ask her to change her mind. People everywhere. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed that a lot of people are around us. In hindsight...
Hey, what the hell's up with that burn thing?
Man, you get out of here! Go on, get!
I heard there was bacon.
You don't talk about my girl like that, man. I'm gonna mess you up. Out of here. Sorry about that, Hanako. It kind of happens coming from the city and all.
Let's just move on.
Stepping out the bus, here we go. In hindsight, it should have been obvious. Of course, a lot of people will be downtown on a Saturday. It is Saturday, okay. Hanako retreats close to my side, and I can feel her hand clutching my arm tightly. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her hat hides most of her scarring. So, where shall we go? A bookshop? Hanako is present in my other general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget, but I should be able to afford a few books. There's something I want to try to reserve a few funds for anyway. For a second, I think Hanako didn't hear me, but then I looked to my side and noticed her nodding almost impressively.
Okay. Do you know of one?
Actually, I did. We passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presents. Hanako's expression clouds a fraction. I got to remember to stop bringing up her birthday.
You both spent a lot of time.
Or maybe I misjudged the situation. We wanted to make sure we got the right present after all. Hanako
Even
smiles.
after all that time they spent, they didn't get something as good as Fort Kick-Ass, am I right?
You know she had to pay for that room and you just re-gifted the room, right?
You're welcome.
She should charge you the rent she has to pay.
Please stop being mean to him. He's a good boy, deep down.
In the bottomless pit of hell. Oh, sorry about that. Hanako smiles and blushes a bit. It's a small treasure when she does. Anyway, there should be a bookshop just up ahead. Do you want to check it out?
Sure.
The crowds start to build as we head towards the bookshop along with the raised walkways. Hanako latches her other arm onto me as well, making our progress a little slower. As we walk, the sound of traffic makes me think for a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought about what you're going about yet when you're going to learn to drive?
Was that English?
Blah, 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 blah.
Driving?
Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamaku that are allowed to drive. It's not the best topic for conversation, but I wanted to try and distract Hanako from the situation. She's really high-strung right now. Then again, all I've really done is make her feel awkward since she's probably never thought about it. I wish I hadn't said anything. Before long, we are before one of the bookshops Lily and I passed by during our search. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closes on Saturdays?
Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this up now. Okay, I gotta ask you this. Physical manga or digital manga? Which do you prefer?
It's a lot easier to read digital, but I like physical copies of stuff like my favorite series. I'll go buy physical copies of them.
Like, one of my friends, like, he's always letting me borrow physical copies of manga, and
Right.
I'm always hoping that he's gonna pick up the rest of the volumes. Like, some manga I've read online, like the Hiroaka manga, because you know, it's hard to get a hold of those physical copies because a lot of them don't exist yet.
Yeah.
But the biggest rant here is physical media to me is way better than digital media.
I don't know. It's just really nice to hold it in your hand as you're reading it. Like I bought
Yes.
Monster Musume, man. I got all the Monster Musume manga.
It's
Plus
just
the side manga.
it's a good feeling to actually turn the pages yourself. Like, even if it's not a manga, like any book, it just feels good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my rant. I got to rant. I had to rant about that. She's pretty knowledgeable about technology. I guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. Huh, I guess that makes sense. It's easier to find books online. Anyway, it looks like this idea is a shot. Anything else you'd like to do?
If it's not a bother, could you show me where you bought my present?
Sure, not a problem. It's not far from here. Waka, 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 waka. I head off in the direction of the store, only half sure of his exact location. I don't want a repeat of last time, spending half the day walking around aimlessly. Here we are, Othello's Antiques.
It's small.
Well, yes. Lily, and it took me and Lily some time to find it.
Can we go in?
I don't see why not. It's open. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty save the store owner. His face drops a little when he sees me.
Oh, you're not here for a return, are you, grandson? Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time? You upgraded.
Sir, no. No, we're not, sir. We're not here to return anything. We were just in town and wanted to have another look around in here. The store owner considers us for quite a long time. I guess he's not used to high school students coming in his shop on a regular basis.
Might this be the friend you want the gifts for?
That's right. They were presents for her. The store owner turns to Hanako, who freezes on the spot like a deer caught in headlights. He moves to her dresser, but stops doing so, looking a little taken back. He gets himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense as his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise, then curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with what I had seen. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger or annoyance. If anything, it's one of apology.
You're lucky there, young lady. You have my grandson there that cares about you so much.
Thank you.
If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't even realize that she'd said anything. Then again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in partly to being directed away from us. Hanako strikes...
Motherfucking E.T. looking ass.
Wait, you talking about the store owner?
Yeah.
Hanako strides out into the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. It's a side of Hanako I've barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she had dolls, even more so to find her collection sitting on her dresser. She looks a little better now that she's stretching out of the store's owner's sight, but I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. I might have my own problems, but I've never had strangers react to me like that. As if I was something completely alien to them.
This is a nice shop.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something?
You want to pay for me?
Aizawa, she doesn't have any money.
I'm sorry, little Aizawa. I didn't bring any money.
Well, we can always come again, now that I know where to find it, that is.
We can?
Of course, we can come here as often as you'd like.
All right.
You know this is more for her, not you, right?
Huh?
You know this is more for her, but I'm being nice and letting you tag on.
mean?
Next time, I don't know, I'll give you a little money and here's like 500 yen. Here, go get some. Go buy you something.
Woo!
What do you say?
Oh, what do I say?
What do you say?
Lily would say something about a tribute from her subject.
Not what people who aren't crazy like Lily say is thank you. Now say thank you.
You're welcome.
Say thank you, Aizawa.
You're welcome.
Close enough. Oh yeah, the Hanako line.
Thank you.
You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't think either of us completely believes in what we're saying, but rather we're just repeating what we think we should say.
Can we go back to the school now?
So is there no more bad endings on the Hanako route?
Oh boy, there's the common one coming up.
Wasn't that another common one just now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing most people go with the rational thinking I was going with, that Hanako instinctively would rather stay back in the school, right? Sure thing. Let's go.
You need to think like stop thinking like a freaking normie and think like a master of romance. whose only experience with women is through dating sims.
I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Freaking loser.
As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain at the back of the shop. I'm not really sure what that glance he gives to her says. It feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. Probably because he's a small store owner, and we didn't buy anything, right? Aizawa, what did you buy anyway?
Oh, that old man. He sold me this pouch of beans.
How was it?
He said
500?
they were magic.
So you bought magic beans for 500 yen.
Yeah, and then like I could grow them and grow a giant beanstalk, and then I'll sell that. That's capitalism.
How much are you even going to sell it for?
500. At least 5,000 yen.
I'm taking a cut of that considering I gave you money for the beans.
But you told me thank you.
We're still going to work on that. Hanako and I stopped walking once we reached the concrete area between the dormitory buildings. There's barely a word said between us on the way back from the city.
Well, then. Goodbye.
Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassed.
I'm tired. Maybe later. I've got homework.
She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more, but I suppose she'd have a bit of score to catch up on. She missed a few days of lessons. Ah, homework. Thanks for reminding me. I got a stat to do as well. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Isao.
Before I could say goodbye, Hanako has turned and began walking to the entrance of the female dormitory. I look at the door she disappears through for a bit, going off towards my own dorms. Today was tiring. It was a tiring day. The third sheet. Scars. Around this time is right when we got to the end of the Emmy route.
Yes, sirree.
I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower. Oi, mate, shut up, Kenji.
Hey, Shizune.
Signing. Aizawa, she says hi.
Oh, I didn't think you'd be here.
And the
I retract that. That greeting.
I'm always with her. I'm her translator.
You're a lady boy?
Yes.
That's weird, man.
I know, right? Quickly slip into my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, nom, grabbed my bag, and headed off, as per usual, my daily routine. It's only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour until eventually every seat was taken, other than Hanako's. Oh no, not again. I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't want to show up to class every now and again. It feels all more worrying now as well, given that Lily's left. As Aizawa continues to drone on, I find my gaze...
So these magic beans, right? If you all invest in this...
Every so often to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal. Or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was more apparently but it was apparently more spotty beforehand. There's also an ominous time. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday, and my suspicions are starting to rise after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up on how I can help her, but in the end, I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from class, though Aizawa looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures, after all.
Guys, the beans! The beans!
Aizawa, it's lunchtime.
The beans. The beans, guys. The beans.
Also, I regret taking a nap now, because now I can't say words.
Could you say words before?
More so. Now I'm just like... Just when I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself. Afternoon, Victoria. Afternoon, All Might. Midnight. The beans. You both...
Hey, I was talking to him about my beans, guys.
You both look as bright as ever.
Midnight. No, the beans, though. The beans.
Midnight wants to know if you would have, if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Sure. It'll be good to have some company.
Beans! Wait! Beans!
We're already gone! The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old school's did. Yamaku is different, though, in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rush is. One would expect to be an unruly mob chomping at a bite to get to the service in the area is rather a neat, organized line. There's a small amount of jolting, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead, but it's pretty subdued. This is due in no doubt to the serious rules regarding such matters in the school. The same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways or to and from their dormitories and the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like this sense of order that's enforced in the school. I didn't really like being told by Midnight and All Might to get their lunches, though I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table where they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for All Might, a bowl of ramen and juice for Midnight, and I heave a sigh of relief as I put it all down after the significant difficulty I had carrying all addition to my own lunch. Thank you! All Might claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bed ravenously. Oh, this is good!
Did you get me anything, man?
Oh, hi, Miki.
Hey, man, where's my lunch?
Here, you can have a piece of bread.
I wasn't expecting you to be so forward with this, man. I expected some pushback.
Well, do you not want any bread? I mean, I'll eat it.
Frick you, man. Ruining all my jokes, man.
Let's see. Midnight gives an appreciative nod before giving her steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it low to cool it down.
Did you say semen ramen?
Yes. That's totally what she's eating.
What did you say?
What did I say? Steaming. You You have.
Seaman Robin.
You have. You're hearing. We need to take the gun lollies away from you.
No, you don't.
I open my own lunch, another packet of sweet bread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Oh, sweet. Hey. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind. So, I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me down here? You two seem to always have an ulterior motive, after all.
No, I don't have a reason, man. I was here first.
Well, I understand that, Miki. I meant these two. Yes.
Where did they come from, man?
I have no idea. You would think you'd be able to pay attention to where the pink-haired one always comes from, considering how bright pink her hair is, right?
Man, I thought she was just like a bad trip, man. She was talking to me about not smoking or something. I thought she was just a hallucination.
God of Bread Lily is being dethroned.
Somewhere in Scotland, Lily is just, what the fuck is going on? I can sense a disturbance.
In the bread. I can sense a disturbance in the bread. Her mouth full of sweetbread is full of sweetbread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. Midnight looks a little grossed out before going back to eating her ramen. I wait until All Might swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not buttering me up to make me work for you after school. Nope. Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give? No. Oh! Fine. You win. I guess you just wanted to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as me then. That's it, young Midoriya. You got it. Midnight looks unimpressed as All Might finishes signing our conversation and sucks in the last of a long noodle as she signs her own thoughts.
Yeah, boy.
Midnight says you shouldn't be so suspicious of this. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all. How is she, are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks as though I still have trouble communicating with Midnight. It should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Midnight instead of All Might in my speech, but when somebody else is doing the talking for her, it's a surprisingly difficult task. It's a class representative's job to ensure everyone's doing alright in class, isn't it? Not really. Wait, how is making me get your food ensuring that I'll go well in class? Midnight huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. So, this is the thanks we get for giving you companionship during lunchtime? That's a total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that I... Lily's away and Hanako is absent. Since those two are the only people
You're
you're
a bit of a fucking loser, man, to be honest.
Miki, you're not nice.
I'm not nice, man.
I wonder. Hey, Miki, look, a bag of Doritos.
Where, man?
Fetch. Wow, that actually worked. Lily's yeah, hang around with. You also made it kind of obvious to see. Ouch. I may well have done so, but she did need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback for before. Right, right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And that isn't sarcasm. The two nod and we get back to finishing our meals. It feels a little embarrassing to have accomplished just because be accompanied. Just because they noticed I was lonely. But it isn't as if they're strangers either. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice. And as I do so, I find my mind wandering back what I'd been thinking about before the tutor interrupted my train of thought. It feels like I'm the only one in class that so much as acknowledges Hanako not being there. It felt like this the other times she skipped class, but now it's even more acutely annoying. Does nobody care if she's happy or not? Have they just written off any possibility of helping her to make her better? Even Aizawa doesn't try to keep her in class, and I'm still not wholly convinced by his reasoning. Hey, young Midoriya, is your juice past its expiry date? What? You were pulling a weird face like this. If it were needed, All Might mimics my own expression. I can't say it.
Are you okay, man? Like,
not really. I'm half
are
asleep.
you literate?
Slightly today, yes. That's what happens when you don't. I don't have any Mountain Dew to wake my butt up, to wake my brain up.
Alright, so there's this cool thing called water.
No. Makes me grimace, though Shizune at least takes some amusement from it. I was just thinking about Hanako. Oh. Misha's interest is piqued, and so is Shizune's once my words are interrupted for her. I was just worried about her being absent so often, especially now, though, what with her birthday coming around. Oh. The memories of the incident in class are fresh in their minds. Her face alone are telling that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? Misha shrugs and looks. All Might shrugs and looks to Midnight, who mulls on this for a while.
I hear like Hanako is blind and blonde. If that helps, man.
That's Lily.
No, Lily is the black hair guy with the scarf, man. You can't fool me this time.
That's Aizawa. He's right here. Say hi.
Hey, dude, why are you grabbing Aizawa?
Yeah, he's right here.
What the hell? Why are you grabbing me and calling me Aizawa? I've never talked to you in my life.
Huh. He looks just like him. Oh well. Go away! Punch. Smash!
Do you know who my father is? My father is the best lawyer this side of the Pacific Ocean.
Do you want me to get Lily? Lily's dad owns this school. I can get you kicked out. Out of here. The only people she's ever talked to for more than a sentence is me. Or two are you and Lily. Midnight may not have been able to convey Lily's name in a derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it comes through in her sign language. The effect is lost, however, after All Might's interpretation. There are a couple of things we know about Hanako as student council members, thanks to the records that pass through our hands, but we can't say anything about what's in them. Understandable. It sounds a lot like the nurse's patient confidentiality. Every time I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, it turns out being a dead end. I still haven't really, I mean, I say Emmy's best girl Dawn, but I'm not really sure. Like, maybe I'll have a poll on my Twitter at the end of the series. Tripping. Okay, let's see. The only way I'll ever find out is asking her. I don't know if she'll let me know such things, but if it's for her sake, I have to at least try. Don't worry about it, Midoriya. It happens every year after all. That doesn't remove my sense of worry at all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class, but this feels like it goes further. Without their confirmation of that fact, all my notes, my troubled expression, her own usually happy and reassuring face dropping. Everyone has problems they have to deal with. Like in Midoriya? Yeah, I just wish I could help Hanako more with hers. With that, the conversation trails off on a depressing note. Eventually, All Might manages to pick the mood back up through her usual bright and bubbly antics, but my mind remains focused on Hanako. I'll go check on her later. I'll make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag. The dorms are quiet. Aizawa kept me occupied longer than expected, discussing my studies after class ended and pressing on me some worksheets to give to Hanako almost as an afterthought.
Hey, make sure to tell her about the beans. The beans.
I'll remember to mention it. Hey, do me a favor while I'm gone. Can you clean up a little? There's like bread wrappers everywhere for some reason.
Yeah, I have no idea where they came from. I will, sure. Just remember the beans, okay?
Here, if you're good, if it's all clean by the time I get back, I'll even bring you a beer. How about that? Or some wine.
All right. I'll do it, please.
Okay, I'll be back later. Just keep a lookout for Kenji, all right?
All right.
I'm late in registering the shadow that appears in front of me. Looking up reveals the owner of such a... Oh, no.
Hey, it's that Shizune girl.
This is Kenji. Hey, man! Haven't seen you in a while. I love his theme.
I've never met you.
You know something? That's one thing I like about Kenji. I like his theme. It's catchy.
I like his stance.
Just like, hey, man, what's up? Oh, hi. What's with that response? My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I probably had the same reaction. Sorry, just thinking about a lot of stuff. Thinking is a pretty poor excuse not to be aiding the war effort. And how goes the war? I am prepping. Right now I need money to help with those preparations.
I know how you could make that money. Beans.
Oh, mate, I bought some of those and they didn't grow.
No, that old man would never lie to me.
Were they rainbow-colored beans, mate?
Yeah.
They kind of looked like they had a red, a blue, and a yellow dot on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some of those planted in my room. They only grew a little tree. That's all.
No, the beans.
Well, the tree does produce the most delicious fruit I've ever had in my life, mate.
They're supposed to grow to the sky and take me to the land of the giants, and then we can real estate.
You will get some good highs off of these, mate.
Oh, real shit. Don't mind if I do then.
Just have a good time with them. Just make sure. Alright?
Alright, Shizune.
If you want me to loan you money, just say it. No, man, I'm good. You're good? You don't want my money? Hey, man, don't look so surprised. It's insulting. I'm pretty big in the competitive bowling scene, but yesterday I found some guys who didn't know that. I'm fairly sure that betting would be against the school rules. School rules don't matter. This is a war situation.
Yeah, school rules don't matter.
Aren't you a teacher?
Yeah, school rules don't matter.
People these days, they don't have appreciation for what war means. So, what do you need money for? What do you need this money for? Dare I ask? Non-perishable canned food, building materials, and mostly corrugated iron and wood panels, first aid kit, camping heater, portable radio, sleeping bag, flashlight, mechanical clock. At first this strikes me as a rather random assortment of objects and materials, but after a few seconds it clicks. Isn't that a list of materials for a fallout shelter? Also, you've read a Protect and Survive booklet. That's good to see someone so knowledgeable about how to protect themselves. You don't seriously think it's a non-zero possibility?
Hey, I know about Fallout. That's what my parents said happened to them.
I thought you were talking about the game for a second, Aizawa.
Game?
Yeah, there's a game called Fallout where you survive in a post-apocalyptic world.
Is it where your dad tells your mom that he never loved her?
No. That just sounds like family issues.
But that's what my parents called their Fallout.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a zero possibility of that ever happening. Excuse me. He slowly and dramatically raises an eyebrow, as well as dramatically as one can raise an eyebrow. The chances is, you know, I don't know, 0.1 to the trillionth place. It's
Infinitesimal.
It's infinitesimal. Besides, where can you build a fallout shelter anyway? Certainly not on campus. It's my summer holiday project while I'm at home. My dad said I could do it. Really? Yeah, he thought it'd improve my crafting skills and manual dexterity or something. Knowing Kenji, his dad's probably just thought to keep him out of his hair for a while. So it does maybe wonder what his parents are like. Maybe they're totally normal and Kenji's just an aberration. On the other...
Hey, can I come? Can I call him Dad too?
Oi, mate, my dad's quite a wanker. You don't want to be around him. He does taxidermy for a living.
Alright.
But maybe my main man Hisao's alright with you coming. Maybe we could spend the day together.
I'm liking this new depth I'm giving to Aizawa's character.
Let's see. On the other hand, maybe this is...
Oh, hey, Junie. How's it going, buddy? Hey, buddy.
Where did shooting? Random shooting.
Doing?
Oh, all the fighting. No.
How you doing, man?
No, Don. He means simple. Maybe this is the kind of paranoia and fearful survivalism runs in the family. Oi, want to help me build it? You look like the type to be handy with tools. If I had your help, we could make a real badass bunker instead of just a fallout shelter. I doubt that. Playing soccer before my accident gave me good footwork, but I've never really tried my head in anything approaching real handiwork. I'm not. Really. I'm busy over the holidays anyway, I'm afraid. Oh, shame. If the feminists ever get a hold of the launch codes, I feel so that few will be prepared.
Oh, Junie, it's getting a little hot in here. You could almost say it's burning.
Oh god, just because I know the context of what you said, that's awful, man. That's just awful. And your fallout shelter will protect you from a nuclear bomb explosion. In that case, in the case that does happen, a fallout shelter isn't meant to protect against the blast. It's what a blast shelter is for. I thought you knew better. My mistake. My home's pretty far away from any major military source, so the fallout following a nuclear exchange is a bigger concern than the blast itself. What it'll do is keep the dust and other put there.
Sound it out. Come on, you're a big boy.
That's what I was planning on doing. My mind's just not wanting to work today. Particulates. There we go. Particulates away from me. My food. I broke character. My food supply and my sleeping area. It's going to last me at least 14 days, though. 14 days is a pretty long time. It is. I need 1 liter of water a day for drinking. Optimally, so I can wash as well. Toiletry is easy enough. Just garbage bags in a bin placed outside the shelter area. Food means canned supplies, of course. Of course, and the radios for outside communication. Right. So I can pick up government alerts on what's going on outside. I need a mechanical clock rather than an electric one in case the electromagnetic pulse from a nuclear airbus flies it too. There's other stuff I need as well, like extra clothing, matches, and candles. I still think I have time to gather it all, though maybe. As much as I hate to say it, I'm a little impressed. He's really researched this and thought it through. Then again, I don't know if I want to live in a post-apocalyptic world with only people like Kenji having survived. It sounds like you really know what you're doing. Damn right I do! Fucking hell, mate. I really know what I'm doing here. Must be hard living in constant fear like this. He hardly ever socialized either. So the fact that he went bowling with others in itself is something of a surprise. This mentally reminds me of a certain someone. Thankfully, her fear of others doesn't manifest in such a distinctive, eccentric way. One thing I know for sure is that I certainly can't tell him why I haven't been hanging around with him much recently. It's late, I have stuff to do. I'll think about making a fallout shelter or something, though. Yeah, alright, that's cool. A man has to do what he's gotta do, after all. You should hang out with me sometime, by the way. You're a cool dude. Cool dudes should hang out together, right? For some reason, that compliment actually feels kind of nice. The situation, Hanako being what it is, though, means I probably won't be able to fulfill his request, for now at least. That'll be good. I'll talk to you later about it when I can. Cool. Later, dude. He retreats into his dormitory. Go see Hanako. I stand outside the door to Hanako's room, hoping that she isn't in too much of a state as I nervously clutch the worksheets Aizawa asked me to pass on to her. It's one more reason to visit her, and it gives me something to talk about, so I suppose I should be thankful for him giving me the task. With a long breath, I say to myself, I wrap my knuckles on the door in front of me. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming inside, but I can't hear a thing. I knock again, slightly harder. Mihan. Still no answer. How strange. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting her to answer the door as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako, it's me! Aizawa said to give you some stuff for a while being...
Open up!
Oh no, what's going on?
Huh?
You heard that, right? Aizawa? No, hold on. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Aizawa!
Yeah.
Did you just hear something outside the door while you're cleaning?
I don't know, man. I ate those beans. I'm tasting colors.
I'll talk to you later. I got things to do.
Bye, Dad. I miss you.
Clunk. For a while, the attempt seemed just as inaccessible as the last. Just before I slip the sheets under her door, though, I hear the handle rattling. As the door opens halfway, I quickly try to see how Hanako's staring. It's a task made somewhat more difficult by her oversharged gowns hiding so much of her body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately, so to be honest, I'd have preferred that to her expression right now. She looks terribly tired and appears to barely acknowledge my presence. Hi, Hanako. Aizawa wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets. Also, he wanted me to let you know that we had this weird lecture on magic beans from The Legend of Zelda.
Good job.
Which she attentively takes in her hands. The way she moves is devoid of thought. Her posture is slumped in an unusual manner for someone that's so often tense and wound up. Even her eyes keep looking away from mine, doing their best to avoid eye contact. I move my head a little to try to get a better look, but she just ends up turning away. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or something, I could go get a nurse. It almost feels pitiful to put on such a routine. Get well soon. Act. I can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. Her head remains turned away, but her eyes move towards me.
I'm fine.
An awkward silence follows. As it lingers, I notice that the sleeves and cuffs of her gown bear slightly damp stains. Her cheeks are a bit red, too. Has she been crying? I see. Hear me? Hello?
Hello?
There you are.
I don't love no song. I is a girl with several STDs.
There we go. Okay. Apparently, my computer just wanted to break. Or my internet wanted to break. Okay, so here we go. Okay, can you see screen?
Carousel. What she wants.
Okay.
No.
I hesitated a little before coming out the words I really came here to say. Would you like me to stay?
No.
I don't have anything urgent to do at the moment, so it wouldn't be any trouble. Her eyes slide away from me, and I lose any hope for improvement of her mood. I wait for a response, but she doesn't say anything nor give me the kind of gesture. She just stands there looking away from me. Hanako? She slowly shakes her head. Okay, well, good night then. With that, Hanako steps back and closes her door without a second word. More than a little word, I retreat back to my room. Wandering up the hallway, I keep mulling over what happened. It felt like Hanako was only half there, as if I was interacting with a robot that was doing just what it was programmed to do without any real thought. She was a husk of a person. This is frustrating. I'd hoped that meeting Hanako would help the situation, but I feel like it's only made it harder to understand her. How am I supposed to try and help her when she quite literally shuts me out like that? Hey, Aizawa. Glad to see you got this place cleaned up.
Oh man, dude, I was tasting colors for a while there. It was crazy.
Oh, by the way, here's the can of beer, I promise.
Natty needed that. Thank you.
I don't bother to turn on the light, opting instead to simply change into my pajamas, quickly choke down my evening pills, and collapse onto my bed. Dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. Once again, Hanako doesn't turn up for class. Try as I might to concentrate on other matters. This fact continues to distract me throughout the entire school day, and even as I walk through the school gardens to the dormitories. Oh no, I don't like that music. That's like the really intense music. Oh no. I don't think today, being her birthday, is a coincidence either. I don't know the link between the two events, though, nor do I have any idea on what she's feeling. Excuse me. Were it physical pain, I could at least provide some limited comfort. With something like this, though, I have no idea where to start. I run the people I know through my head, thinking about where they could help. Midnight and All Might don't know that much about Hanako, and what little they do know, excuse me, they can't tell me. Same for the nurse. In the end, there's only one person that knows Hanako well and would be willing to tell me anything.
So you've decided to come to me for help.
Henry, Aizawa, it's most likely Lily that I gotta call.
But, oh.
I mean, you're her
never come
teacher.
to me for help.
Well, you kinda can't tell me anyway, because, you know, you're a teacher. I mean, I would ask you if I could, but I know I can't.
I'm more than a teacher, Midoriya.
I know you're my best friend, but it's even then, I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm trying to look out for you, man. That's what friends do.
I haven't had a teaching job for 5 years.
And what are you still doing going in the classroom and teaching?
I don't know, I'm bored.
Don't you still have your teaching license?
No? Do you think they let you keep it after allegations of statutory?
This is true. And I don't know, Don. I don't know anything about this. Mr. Simple Person over here would know. Isn't that right?
You know what I know?
You know
I
what?
don't love no thoughts. A thought is a girl with several STDs.
I mean, that's an interesting theory, but we'll find out, I guess, soon, because according to Simple, we're really, really close to the end of the route, right?
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna guess the common bad ending's really getting close now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Seriously, I'm gonna have to get up early on one of my days off, and you and me are just gonna have to stream forever going through, you know, all the bad endings in the game.
Hey, remember, we're gonna be reversing roles. I get to be Hisao. I get to be the main character.
You finally get to be the main character. Yay. Anyway, let's see. Takes me feeling familiar. With everything that's been going on around me, I'm thankful that this room has started to feel finally be somewhere I can relax a little. When I first entered Yamaku, it felt immediately foreign in every way, from the untouched neatness to the way it smelled. Focusing back on the task at hand, I threw my bag onto the bed as I opened the top desk of my drawer. Before she left, Lily told me the number to call her on while in Scotland, and I wrote it down. In hindsight, I wonder if she knew something like this could happen. Now that she's out of reach, I realized just how much Hanako and I relied on her for guidance. I dig around the drawer afterward, looking for that damn piece of paper. Eventually, thankfully, I nestled it under a borrowed library book. I should probably enter it directly into my phone. Come to think of it, without further ado, I enter the number and anxiously press the call button. Eventually, the phone picks a feminine voice I don't recognize on the other end. It's probably Lily's mother. Sato. Wait, hold on. Wait, I need Lil. Wait, hold on. I did her sister, so you need to do her mom, right?
Sato.
English? Suddenly finding myself unprepared, I realize I can't understand a word she says, either due to my limited vocabulary or her accent. I should have anticipated, since according to Lily, her mother is a native Scot. I soldier around and hope that she must know some Japanese, considering it's her daughter's native language. It's Hisao Nakai speaking. An enthusiastic sound of realization can be heard as she recognizes the language. My feeling of relief is immense.
Ah, you must be one of Lily's friends from school, correct?
Even so, her accent means I have to concentrate to work out what she's saying. Yes, that's right. Pleased to speak to you, Mrs. Sato.
Oh, it's so nice to I've heard to find someone so polite. Lily, dear, it's for you.
Her mother seems nice, if a little over-enthusiastic given the mundane situation. There's a small silence. Lily takes her time getting to the phone. In the distance, I can make out her mother scolding her playfully for just getting up.
Hello, Lily speaking.
You sound awful. The one thing I did remember to chat before calling was the time zone. It should be pretty late in the morning over there, so she really has no excuse. Not feeling well?
Just tired. What time is it there?
Late afternoon. School finished for the day not too long ago.
My pet is not well, is she?
That was quick. My assumption that she must have known something like this could happen seems to have been on the mark. How did you know?
Because today is her birthday. I'd hoped she might have gotten at least a little better after coming to know you. But how is she right now?
She missed school today and yesterday. I still have to check up on her today. To be honest, after seeing how she was when I talked to her yesterday, I'm pretty anxious. I really have no idea what to make of it. Has this happened in the past? Is it related to her scarring in some way?
Unfortunately so. Roughly the same thing happened last year when her birthday came up. As far as I can tell, it's because her parents died in the accident that caused her scarring, and Hanako blames herself for their deaths.
She does. What she says does seem to make sense. If she's blaming
It
herself,
doesn't make sense, really. It's gods like me who choose who dies.
Well, then you're kind of a horrible person, Miss God.
Excuse me, gods are held on a different level of morality than you mortals.
I will burn a piece of bread.
See you in hell, because I'm going to personally put you there.
If she's blaming herself on her birthday, she may as well be ruining that she was ever born. Hanako had mentioned her stay in the orphanage to me. Maybe I should take some heart that she trusts me enough to tell me such a thing. At least she's so in the dark about it, though. Almost to some extent that I am. Almost to the extent I am. It's a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. Has she told you any more about the accident?
As close as we've come. She's barely told me anything about what happened. What I know about it is largely conjecture. Do you know what that word means?
She sounds depressed, almost defeated. Considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through, I really can't fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she seems to consider it a personal failing. Don't blame yourself, Lily. With everything she's gone through. There's a long silence on the other end of the line. I begin to wonder if the call cut out before the voice at the other end speaks once again.
There is another person, though, that has been a subject of worry for me as of late.
Oh? I run to the people she could be talking about in my head. The only friends seem to keep very close to Hanako and me, though there's Akira as well.
That person is Aizawa. Oh, and I guess you too, number 2.
There's another silence on the line, but this time it's caused by me. Making her worry about me is something I've actively tried to avoid since coming to Yamaku. Indeed, my interaction with Hanako has helped stave off any major health problems thanks to our relaxed and slow-paced lives. What is there to worry about over me?
I apologize. I didn't mean any offense, although it doesn't really matter. Because you're you, and I'm me, and I'm above you.
I'm sorry. I was just taken a bit off guard. Still, isn't Hanako a bigger problem at the moment?
For some time now, I thought that both of you may be feeding into each other's more worrying habits. I tried to amend this before leaving, but it seems to have done little.
Worrying habits?
When I asked you about what you had in mind for the future, your answer was very similar to what Hanako has said in the past when that question was posed to her. It is well and good to want to protect her, but I fear that treating Hanako like this, as if she were a daughter or someone in need of special care, only I deserve that right because she's my pet, is only going to achieve the opposite.
The situation got effectively turned on its head after everything that's happened. This is the first time I found myself doubting Lily's judgment. Oh god.
What are you thinking?
Did I save it? Oh god. I just realized I didn't save it the last point.
Did you not?
No.
Yeah, you did. Oh, wait. Well, that's like, what? Just
A couple minutes. Okay, I was more concentrated on thinking everything, so, you know, I didn't bother. Okay, so...
Alright.
So
Tell me what you think.
Okay, and then you'll correct me if I'm wrong. Just because you are the master of the Hanako roulette.
I'm the master of romance.
With 2D girls.
Oh, shut up.
You've said it yourself.
Fuck you, man. You don't know me.
Don't saying agree with Lily. Okay, agreeing with Lily. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the text history just real quick.
Wait, can I tell you something, though? About the whole tuning situation?
Yeah.
I need to be careful not to piss him off, man. He knows what I look like now, because I told him if I got Raiko, I'd do a face reveal on stream, and I did.
You're like, crap. Hey, look! Ohio. Hey, it's Rick! My boy! What's up? That's my library. That's where I get my manga from, man. I gotta get my fix! Okay, so...
Right. What's your logic?
Okay, so... Lily's judgment here is that treating Hanako like someone that actually needs special care is going to have the opposite effect on her. What you know, and make her withdraw even more.
Right.
You know, like she's been doing. But if I trust my own judgment and I keep treating her like the way I've been, like as Lily said, doing that could possibly help. I am ready for the plot, my friend. I cannot wait to have plot. I'm excited for the plot.
Alright. So, how do you think it could help?
Well, some people that are extremely shy.
Yes, me?
I don't think you...
How would you romance me, Hudson?
I have no idea. Maybe I'll throw some weights at you. Be like, there you go.
Hey, that would probably work. You just throw it, marry me.
Just like, no, throw like a 250-pound weights in front of you. Here you go.
I love you.
Oh, I'm choking my drink. But doing this to Hanako, like trusting my own judgment, could possibly help, like show her that someone out there wants her to be more like family.
Like a daughter.
Yes, but because of this, that wouldn't actually achieve the goal that Hisao wants. So in hindsight,
unless Hanako has a daddy dom fetish.
But so in this logic, I would trust
Right.
Lily.
Right.
Is this correct?
You are correct.
Because Lily would help me get to know Hanako better by not treating her as someone needing special care, but as someone normal. Someone, don't treat her special, treat her like everyone else.
Exactly. That's like treating someone like that special doesn't help. It absolutely pisses me off.
So like that, like you need to go, like if someone was sensitive like that, sometimes.
Yes, me.
Sometimes, you can't, if you always treat them like as a simple person, or as someone special.
Me?
Yes. If you treat them someone special like that all the time, and then someone treats them like they treat everyone else,
right?
Then then Hanako, for an example, would only know that her whole life. And if someone tried to change gears and be like if someone just randomly went, "Hey, fuck you, man," like that, she would go into ultra panic mode. The fact that someone is confronting her.
All right. Let me speak from personal experience, right?
Do the thing.
As I say, I'm male Hanako,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Nothing pisses me off more than when people treat me special because of something like that. It is the most belittling feeling, and it just makes the rage boil inside of me. Like, I don't care if they're doing it from the best place in their heart. Like, I hate them for it. I just... But people like this, who actually have, a mental condition, what they want is not to be special.
They want to be treated like everyone else.
Exactly.
Alright, let's do this. Agree with Lily. I don't want to admit it, but she may have a point. Something else bugs me, though. And you tried to amend this? Wait, our outing into the city.
Quite astute for a simpleton. I thought that it might help if I dragged both of you out of Yaku and into the wider world. I am thankful you became closer for it, though.
Okay, I gotta say this to Rick real quick. Rick! Are you a tsundere now? Because in the chat he says, it's not like I like you or anything, Baka. So she noticed that. I suppose she may well have been paying attention to us. Her hearing's incredibly good. Quite likely good enough to have picked out what we were talking about if she tried. This sounds more and more like you were manipulating us.
Well, I am a god after all. It's kind of my job.
Silence. It's a harsh way of putting it, but I have no intention of stepping back from those words.
Look, I'm sorry for being so godly and meddling in your affairs. I guess you could call it kind of being worried about two of my disciples.
It's fine. I guess there's more important things anyway. It's not a total surprise that she'd do such a thing. Her motherly nature can be slightly overbearing at times, but she does have the best of intentions. So you think I should think about myself more instead of trying to cater to Hanako?
Yes, that largely sums it up again. Look, number two, I'm sorry for not telling you this in a clearer way, I guess. Oh my, the S word slipped out of my mouth. I wasn't paying attention. I went behind your back, alright? I know I am at least as guilty of being overprotective of my pet as you, but I fear that you are neglecting yourself in your efforts to give my pet happiness.
Do you really think Hanako will be okay?
She isn't as fragile as you think. I don't know exactly what experiences she's lived through, or what feelings she has in her mind, but she has managed to work her way through them until now. I've only been her guard for a little while, and it's also my hope that giving her a little space will allow her to decide what she truly wants for herself, and I give her the initiative to reach out for it. Please have faith in my pet, like you have faith in me and everything I say and do. That's all I ask.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm extremely excited to see the other endings for this route.
Why?
Like, just to see what would happen if I, trusted my own intuition, or I just, or I didn't.
The lamest ending.
What, right here?
It's so lame, dude. Like the other one, like they have like custom art for it. It was pretty cool.
I'm gonna guess for this it just says bad end.
No, it's something really dumb.
I guess I'll think about it for a while.
That's good. Being rash won't get you anywhere. I know that at times you may doubt your relation to my pet, but she does.
Lily cuts herself off and takes a minute to reconsider her words.
Please keep in mind I wouldn't made you my disciple if I hadn't thought you a mediocre person at best. You're a good disciple, both to my pet, both to myself, and you're also a good friend to my pet.
Thank you. That helps. We share some small talk and try to lighten the atmosphere, but it feels very stilted. There's a lot I don't know about Lily's stay in Scotland, but after such a heavy subject, I want to be alone for a bit to think.
Hey, ask her to bring me back a picture of the Eiffel Tower.
That's not in Scotland. That's
Big
in Paris.
Ben?
That's England.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Italy.
A leprechaun?
Ireland.
Shrek?
That's in a swamp. He may be Scottish, but that doesn't work.
Oh. Alright. That's fine, I guess.
After a few minutes, we end up saying our goodbyes, and I set my phone on my desk. Compared to Hanako's situation, mine feels utterly mundane. I still have both my parents. I had a reasonably normal childhood, and unlike many in Yamaku, my condition isn't immediately visible to the public. But then again, isn't this just an attempt to justify the way I've been acting towards her?
I'm not even old enough to drink.
Scottish alcohol, the strongest in the UK. But then again, yeah, that may be, well, our pasts were light. But when it comes to the future, I still have no idea what I want to do in school. I've just concentrated on each day's work, and I've put off more and more things to cater to Hanako. I recall the words Aizawa told me after Hanako's breakdown about the purpose of Yamaku education. In hindsight, he was probably trying to push exactly the same thing. Just what have I been doing in my time since my heart attack? Did I ever manage to get Hanako out of our room and to open up? What then? Look out my dormitory and just went so that. I look out my dormitory window as the sun slowly sets. That. It's such a nice sight. But what I really savor is the quiet as the students return to their dormitory rooms. All I want to do now is think. I'm not sure how much time I have, but I want to work out where I'll go from here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna guess we're like that choice was the last bad ending, and now we're straight to the good end.
About wow.
I'm gonna guess that's straight near the that's right at the end, right? Is that the ending to the route? Stop it!
It's
Close
very
enough.
close. I like the ending more. Like, you know, I say this game could have. Well, when I just played Hanako's route, I'm like, why does this game even have H scenes? But then we played Emmy's route, and that's like 50% H scenes.
And you're like,
Oh, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, Hanako's route, I actually believe, even though I have them all screenshotted, love the art, it would be better without the H scenes. Just from a storytelling perspective.
we have McCree.
Right.
We have McCree for a reason, right? Isn't that right, McCree?
Look, I really don't. I've been here for how long? Please, I have a family.
No.
I want to go home.
No. You have to stay here and be the vanguard. This is what you signed up
Please.
for.
I didn't sign up. I was drafted.
Since talking to Lily yesterday, I wanted to try to move on from the listlessness I felt ever since coming to Yamaku. But even if I try to concentrate on the book in front of me, Hanako's empty seat at the back of the classroom looms larger than life. Every time I start getting focused, my eyes flick over to her desk and my mind starts spinning. Once more, my eyes drift over to her, but this time my vision is blocked by a certain other classmate. Oh, hey Miki.
Hey man, like maybe you should like just have lunch, man. I can hear your like stomach growling from my desk, man.
I let my head drop in disappointment. She seems to have taken some amusement from my reaction and hops up onto my desk. Her grin as she sits on it reminds me of the cashier cat.
Like, so what you working on, man?
You know what I find the funniest out of everything?
What is it, man?
In the Emmy route, we didn't get really any interactions with random classmates. But in the Hanako route, we get to talk to this girl, which makes weird sense, doesn't it?
I mean, alright, think about it. Like, how many times have I actually had to voice Hanako? Like, what, 10 times?
And you've voiced her and Lily more.
Yeah, exactly.
And then your random Aizawa cameos.
Like, yeah.
Cheshire. Thank you. My bad. Some math. I have a decent handle on it, but I just want to revise. I know who that is. Hold on. I need to get an image of the Cheshire cat's face and put it over her face now. For memes, right?
I realized why I made her a stoner.
Why?
Because there's a meme of her.
There's a meme of her?
She says, math is for gaylords. I'd rather smoke weed.
But I just want to revise.
Wait, math is for gay boys. I'm looking for it right now. I remember it.
Send it to me on Discord and I'll post it in the stream so people can see it.
Oh wait, I think it's actually... Yeah, here it is.
It's of her? Even
Yep.
her face. I like her face right here. It reminds me a lot of Akira's little Pac-Man looking face.
Right there.
Must see. It's loading. Okay. Discord. This can't be official subs. Screw math. It's boring as hell. Math is wait, hold on. Is that what we're actually gonna see in what she's about to say?
What?
The screw math part. Is she about to say that?
Yes.
I love it. Let's see, hold on. I need to open this link. I need to download this image, and I'm gonna put it in on the stream. So people can see this. Because we need memes. Memes are everywhere. We have Aizawa in the chat or in the stream for Pete's sakes.
Thought is a girl with enough of days. Ashing her thighs like her self-esteem. Love no thoughts. Thought is a girl with dozen STDs.
Let's see.
Raymond and Rain.
Here it is. Okay, guys, here you can enjoy.
Yeah, Don sent me it. Man, this is for Gaylords, man. Read. I don't.
There.
Other no. Raise your child and no. Your hands and no. Time for thought genocide and no. How's it go?
Official subs versus fan subs. You know what's even funny about that? No, she don't. She says the math is boring as hell, according to something.
I think she might have said like the math is a Gaylord in like one of the builds, like the betas I was talking about, maybe.
Remove. Yes. Oh, what did this thing? Oh no. That's not good.
What's not good?
When I was trying to get rid of the game, or get rid of that picture, I apparently accidentally deleted the game. Whoops. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it.
I don't love your thoughts. How does it go? That's the nasty days.
Hold on, I'm gonna fix it.
Like this, I'm talking to you. Okay, good necklace. Oh yes, thought. I'm talking to you. Not in love. Yes, thought. I'm talking to you. Money to get money. Oh no, I don't wanna go home. Thought. No.
Oh no, what did I do?
Thought.
I broke something.
No. Thoughts. No.
Oh, what did I break? I broke something. Oh,
I don't want no thoughts. I thought this girl who can't get enough of these. Ashing her thighs, like with her self-esteem. I don't want no thought. I thought it's a girl with a dozen STDs.
Okay, copy that there. Okay, it's back. I fixed it. I fixed it. We're all good.
I can still sing about thoughts if you want.
I think. Okay, I think we're good. I think I fixed it. Things aren't broken anymore.
I was singing about thoughts.
I know.
And how I don't love them.
Okay, move to top. And then we gotta move this guy. Okay, I love when the stuff like this happens. You know, when stuff breaks accidentally. Okay, full screen. Okay, there we go. Everything's fixed. We're all good now.
Yes, thought.
Okay, here you go.
Wear a choker necklace. Yes,
okay.
Thought. I'm talking to you.
Okay, read right here.
Oh, really, man? Let me see that, man.
Before I can object, she grabs my mathematics book in her hand and scans the page I was on, holding it open with one hand. The one hand she has, her left arm sitting uselessly on her lap. In my time at Yamako, I've noticed that other students have a wide range of adjustments to their disabilities on a purely practical level. Miki is one of those who seem to have some trouble. The stumble of her left arm tends to be either hanging by her side, slipped into a pocket, or otherwise put out of the way. Sometimes she has a difficult time doing common tasks, which makes her visibly quite frustrated. I feel a little bad for thinking this way, but I'm grateful that Hanako and I don't have disabilities affecting our freedom of movement to that extent. Then again, if Miki's problem worsened, at least she wouldn't have a real possibility of dying. My intention is to refocus as she thumbs through a few pages, skimming over their contents with such casual interest in the subject matter. It's clear by now that she won't be any help. I guess you're not too interested in this stuff.
Math is for gaylords. I'd rather smoke weed.
She puts the book back in front of me with indifference. Her eyes move to the notebook beside that I've been working out practice equations on.
Like, wait, man, you're actually able to work that stuff out, man? Are you like one of those gaylords?
Yeah.
That's messed up, man. Wow, I like never talked to a computer like with legs before, man.
Thanks, I think. At least I'm doing better in this than history.
Well, I think it's worth asking that librarian for help, man. I hear she's shooting up a uni. I mean, shooting for a uni, man.
No, Dawn, no memes. We don't need those kind of memes.
Got Elliot Roger on my mind.
Yuko? Maybe. I don't know what she wants to study, though. So what about you? Got anything you're thinking about doing after you graduate?
Me? Not me. Not really, man. Like, I'm just enjoying it while it lasts, man.
She looks a little... No! I do not agree to this.
I agree with this.
Well, then again...
You have ships with several men. That's pretty gay, dude.
You got nothing to say? Since you're part of one of those ships?
Yeah, but I'm straight.
I just don't want memes. You know, I'm straight too, but I don't need memes, damn it!
Sure you are.
Do you want a can thrown at your head?
Straight into other men.
First off, I blame Dawn for the ship. Actually, Dawn's to blame for both my ships.
Straight to the Pride Parade.
Nah, I'm not as prideful as Vegeta. He belongs in a pride parade.
About as straight as a slinky.
I like slinkies though. They're fun. I may have started it, but you gave it form. She looks a little awkward when asked about her future. Absentmindedly rubs her left forearm. I kind of want to ask her about it, but I don't think I know her well enough to do so. The conversation peters out, and I lean back in my chair, giving up on the prospect of studying. Miki notices my tired expression, looks oddly serious.
Like, are you thinking about, the burn victim, man?
Man, I love me a metal slinky. Metal slinkies are awesome. They're way better than those cheap-ass plastic ones that, you know, they break and bend when you try to actually do tricks with them. Fuck it, I want to buy a slinky now. Damn it, I don't have money for a slinky.
I had money, but I spent $110 on a PNG of a thick mommy waifu. It was worth it, though.
I spent money on a big light blue car outside.
Dude, I don't know what's happening to me ever since I've gotten that Raiko. I haven't been able to look at lollies. What's wrong with me?
You've finally grown up.
No, this is wrong.
You've grown up, Simple. Lollies are no
No,
longer good
this is
enough.
wrong. No. No, this is wrong.
Lollies are no longer good enough for you.
They're supposed to be number one.
Just go play gun lollies for a while. You'll be okay.
But the problem is there are gun mommies there too.
Oh no! Is it that obvious?
Like, you've been glancing at her seat, man. And you've been pretty quiet. Like, are you planning to shoot up the school?
I'm just worried about her. Also, Dawn
Are you
said.
gonna shoot up the school?
Dawn said hashtag Simple grew up.
No.
Hashtag Simple's all grown up.
I'm not.
Hashtag it.
Stop.
Hashtag.
My lollies.
Dude.
Huh? What?
Yeah, Dawn's right. Simple's a big boy now.
My lollies. I'm a big boy, so they should still be calling me Oni-chan, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, man. I can see why he would be, man. She can get, weird sometimes, man.
Dawn, if you want to do that right, I say do hashtag simply not lollies.
No! Stop! That's wrong. That's wrong. Milfs are wrong.
Next thing you're gonna say, you're gonna be attracted to Emmy's mom.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's evil. That's bad. That's yucky. That's the devil.
Her or just Milf?
The concept.
But aren't you just? But you've been saying. You just said that you couldn't. See, there you go, Don. Hashtag simply not lollies.
Evil. It's the devil.
Oh wait.
You guys don't understand. This isn't growing up. This is reverting. Older women are for children. Grown men deserve lollies. Also, Hudson, what's up?
Oh, just trying to pick up something from some guy.
Alright.
It's called Shinken-O.
Yeah, you're just trying to pick up some guy, as I said.
No, Shinken-O. Do you know what Shinken?
Trying to pick up some guy.
Do you even know what Shinken-O is?
Trying to enter his Shinken egg.
No, Shinken-O. It's a mech from Power Rangers Samurai. It's the Japanese version of it, which actually can fold.
I watched Operation Overdrive, SPD.
Best season.
What was the one? The Ninja Storm?
You had to watch the original, right? MMPR?
Dino? What?
Mighty Morphing Power Rangers. We all watched Mighty Morphing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look. I'm showing it on stream. I have the original Megazord right here. The Dino
Right.
Megazord. And where is it?
No, Don, not simply Cougars.
Like, I'll even show this. I've got the best morpher from the best season. I've got the SPD changer.
Oh.
You know, which is really awesome because SPD is still my favorite seasons. I see your hashtags. Hashtag simply lollyless.
That's wrong. That's evil. That's the devil. But I think like my most memorable season was I went and watched the original after this, but the first thing I actually saw was a Ninja Storm. You remember Ninja Storm?
Oh, I remember Ninja Storm.
It's the most memorable one for me.
To me, it was SPD just because I really liked the, just because I liked the idea and I liked the character growth of the Rangers. But anyway, we're getting off track. We got a route to finish considering we're almost done. She sounds off-put, but I can't blame her. Hanako was a hard person to interact with before she warmed up to me. Even with Lily around to help, I didn't know her for that long either, so some of her habits would still be unknown to me. Hashtag simply cougars. It's confirmed. Hashtag lollylack. Hashtag simply lollylack. He just laughed. Oh shit.
Guys just need to get off their heat. This is wrong. That's the work of the devil.
My face becomes trouble if If I hadn't developed feelings for her, this would be at least a little easier.
I mean, no offense, man. Like, she isn't a bad person. I know that much. Want a hit?
I know something I'm going to do now.
No, you're not. You don't know anything.
I'm gonna have some fun.
No, you're not. Listen here, young man. You're not going to do that. You understand me?
What, I'm not gonna tweet it?
Wait.
Don was saying I should tweet hashtag simply lollylacking.
What did you just say about me? You little bit? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda. And I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, not guerrilla warfare, guerrilla warfare. And I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You are nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you out with precision, likes of which has never seen before on this earth. Mark my words. You think you could get away with saying that to me over the internet? Think again, kid. As we speak, I am contacting my secret network of spies across the USA, and your IP is being traced right now. So you better prepare for the storm.
Can I get a hashtag Winston Maker in the stream, please and thank you?
Something about storm. Where was I?
No, hey, do you get a lollylacking simple?
The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life.
Do you get the joke I made? What I wanted in the comments?
Yes, I heard it, but I'm ignoring it because I don't like this.
Blame the fact that you spent $110 to get her. You made that. You worked for that, mama.
But she's so thick.
You betrayed. Hashtag lack-o-lollies. Lack-o-lollies. Can I get hashtag lack-o-lollies in the stream chat, please and thank you. God, I've been doing that. I'm doing that because I've been watching this YouTuber called Lord Frieza. I know. I didn't. I know. I didn't take it that way. It's just hard to deal with when you know you have feelings for someone.
Yeah, man. I can imagine that. It's hard to forget something like what happened to her during class too, man.
Let's see. I wish she hadn't reminded me of that. She just confirmed that it was clearly noticed by others in the room as well. Also, I'm glad this time you didn't splash water at yourself.
This time, I took the airtight lid off.
This time.
Thinking ahead.
This time. Last time you were just like, oh, I'm dying. Dying of water. I'm okay though.
It was amazing. It was like a beautiful fountain.
Yeah. Oh, well, this sucks now.
I spent half of that stream absolutely soaked.
You had to. I'm just again, just glad you didn't soak any electronics. That meant money to spend, right? Let's see.
Like, come on. Like, don't get that down, man. She's done this before. Now you've just gotta wait it out.
Let's see. Hashtag lolly lacking, simply slacking. Oh! Hashtag that, please. And thank you. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me.
No, you are not.
Excuse me while I take a picture of this and post it on Twitter.
No. No. Bad. Bad. What do I have to do to get yourself? You want me to sing you a song?
No.
I don't love no song. I thought it was a good with several STDs.
You have already your lolly days are over.
The tendies on my plate. How about that? Did that work?
No, you're getting. You know what makes it even worse? I don't have that many followers, but just the fact that I'm gonna post this, it's gonna be lousy. Heck, I don't even know if you know my Twitter handle.
Hudson, come on, we're so close to finishing.
Okay, I'll post it later. She locks herself in her room and acts like losing lolly days. I need a 4 days in there, thank you very much. Please and thank you. She locks herself in a room and acts like an empty husk of a person for a sizable amount of time ever since she entered Yamaku, if not before then as well. Let's see, and I'm not supposed to be concerned about that? Well, I might think that, but there's nothing I can do. I can't force her to come out, and she does see a therapist. It's not like she's not getting help for her issues. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Maybe it's just natural to think that way when you're so powerless to help someone that's just the way she is. And you had to deal with it.
I hate both of you so much right now.
You want a divorce, I'm guessing?
This marriage was a sham. I did it for the money.
I don't have any money. I'm a broke bastard. As I'm all things
back, bastard.
Oh my god. Awful. As I'm all things over, I noticed movement out of the corner of my eye. I glanced to see who it is and ended up doing a double take. It's Hanako! Sure enough, it's Hanako. She walks to the door just as she would any normal school day and begins towards her seat in her usual silent and humble manner. She looks at me for a moment before blushing and looking away in embarrassment, which makes me realize I was staring at her. I feel sorry for that, but not doing it is hard after all that happened. The girl sitting on my desk looks at me, looks to me grinning.
Like Z-Man.
Your sweetheart's back already, man. Like, what did I tell you, man?
You be quiet. It's only meant as a joke, but she hits close enough to make me quite uncomfortable. As we talk, someone calls Miki's name from the door. She jumps down from her vantage point on my desk before turning to me.
Like, gotta go, man. Remember to, like, eat sometime, man. And, like, give me, like, my food, man, to share.
Fine, I will. See ya. She gives a casual salute before jogging over to the door, where a male student in gym uniform is waiting for her, probably someone from the track and field club. Seizing the opportunity, I get up and make my way to Hanako's desk.
Hello.
Hi, Hanako. What's up?
Nothing.
Maybe talking to her this soon after she conceptualizes a bad mood. Want to come with me and grab something from the cafeteria? I'm pretty hungry.
But I thought you were studying.
Studying can wait. Turning up for class after all this time must have taken some courage from Hanako, so the least I can do is stay with her. That's just the way she is, and you have to deal with it. Is the way Miki, and probably that class as a whole, views Hanako. I can do more for her, though I want to do more for her. After being distracted by Miki, I don't think I'm going to get any work done. Come on, let's go. She hesitates, but eventually gets up and joins us. We begin walking. These may be small steps to her, but the fact that she's finally out of her room, of her own violation, lifts a large weight off my shoulders.
God, we wasted so much time.
I know, right? Hashtags were worth it, though. The memes!
No.
Memes! My pen busily scrawls onto a slow-filling paper of my notebook, my other hand remaining on the page of a reference book I borrowed from the library, marking my spots as they flicker to and fro. As I work, I occasionally mark red circles or underline onto the photocopy sheets of paper that lie on the table in front of me. Wanting a change of scenery from the library, and to avoid the distractions of the classroom, I decided to make use of the Shanghai for some quiet study time. Ended up being nice and quiet as expected. Being able to get coffee while I study is a nice bonus. Hashtag simply lost the lollies. Hanako may have returned to her normal self since she came out of her room, but I've done quite the opposite. Daily routine may have returned to us, but I feel as though I'm a different person. Maybe I'm not. It's only been a few days after all. Wow, that time skipped though. Since I decided I wanted to try and get out of the rut, I found myself in after my accident, but I wanted to change, and I'm actively working towards that goal. Or at least I'd like to think I am. Ugh! This is impossible! Brute forcing this isn't going to work! What's more, I have another piece of writing that I have to do after this. I fear it's going to be no easier. I look up and I'm surprised at the source of the tentative. Hugo stands at the head of the table with a damp towel on the other hand, clearly having taken the opportunity to clean tables while no of her patrons were around. She looks curious, her eyes as much on my work as me. What's the matter? I was just wondering, what sort of work are you having so much trouble with? Oh, it's just history. I'm fine with science and math, so I'm trying to get my other subjects up to par. Yuko looks positively glad at this development. I feel like I just chose the right answer on some big quiz show. Oh, I think I can help you with that. If you don't mind, of course. Sorry. I briefly consider turning down the offer in order not to cause her too much trouble, but she looks too excited about this for me to do it. It would be mean to shoot her down after such a reaction. If you're willing to help, I'd really appreciate it. She claps her hands together and quickly deposits her towel on the counter before returning and taking a seat across from me. I take my notebook off the top of the textbook and hand it to her to pursue. So you're studying the Indo period? Yeah, I'm not really much good at this though. She takes the textbook and reads a few pages from a random section near the middle of it for a bit. But the Oriental enthusiasm she had been reading previously is rapidly sapping away. I'm guessing this isn't the kind of history you were expecting? Unfortunately not. My main area is European history, especially in the classical era. Sorry.
Nice.
Aizawa, what are you doing here?
Huh? What do you mean?
Have you been... Oh yeah, now I remember. I was so focused on study I forgot I ordered you a piece of cheesecake and a coffee, right?
Yeah.
My bad. What are you
She didn't know what cheesecake was. She like gave me a wedge of cheese in a pie tin.
Yeah, Japanese people are weird, Aizawa.
I know, right?
She looks a bit downcast, but as she carefully closes the book and lays it back down on the face, her face perks up again. Would you like another cup of coffee? Hmm? Oh, yeah, sure. Aizawa, you want anything?
Yeah, I'd like my parents to love each other and love me again.
Something that I can actually buy you here, please?
Oh, do they have beer?
We have sake.
Oh, what?
They've got Japanese beer. Just,
Then, fine, just hand it over.
it's like sweet rice alcohol.
That sounds disgusting.
That's the only alcohol you can get from here.
Just give it.
Yeah, sure. One more coffee and one bottle of sake, please. You know I'm not supposed
Make it
to...
3. 3.
You get one.
Two.
I'm kind of low on funds. Unless you're going to pay me back for it, then you get one.
Oh.
I'm not supposed to sell you this, but since he's here, okay. I reach forward to get my book back as Yuko gets up, takes my mug, and slowly walks to the counter to make another brew. As usual, she absolutely silent as she does this. Every ounce of her concentration is focused on not tripping over or dropping the plain white mug. I take the opportunity to lay back and relax for a bit. The hum of the coffee machine fills the otherwise quiet air. It's small details like that which make me realize how much I've come to appreciate the little things in life. The peace and quiet of the local town, the disciplined order of Yamaku, the green of the trees that were so rare in my home city, the relaxed place at which the aging residents live their lives. Everything feels so certain. It's comfortable. Or it's comforting. I can feel myself beginning to nod off when the sound of the mug coming to rest on the table grabs my attention. Seems like it arrived not a moment too soon. Yuko takes her previous seat once again as I pick myself up and bring a hand around the mug to check its temperature. It's just a little too hot to drink right away, so I'll blow on it a little. It's a shame you don't like history that much. I sort of guessed you might be more into science. How so?
Well, I am a science teacher.
She meant me, Aizawa. But just drink your sake.
Alright.
Good?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Is it good?
No?
Yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess, right?
Hey, man, as long as I forget everything about tonight.
You've nearly read out the science fiction section of the library already. It wasn't that hard to notice.
By the way, that was both in character as Aizawa and out of character.
You're gonna look back on my channel like, oh, I'm sad now. You have a good point there. Well, what can I say? You've pegged me just about right. You sound like you really took an interest in history, though, especially considering how specific you were about it. Do you study in that area or something? Go on digs overseas? She giggles nervously at the thought. Yes, Don, I'm here. I exist. Hi. It's morphin' time. Oh, wait, I'm wearing a flash shirt. Gotta go feast. There we go. I'd like to visit the Mediterranean sometime and see the old... Yeah. Architecture, there we go. See the old architecture and art for myself, but I don't think I could trust myself to handle such delicate things. Hashtag lolly lacking simple life. Oh shit. Things decided to temporarily die, apparently.
Hudson, come on, dude. We're so close.
I don't blame me, blame my internet.
Stop getting Stop getting distracted.
Okay.
2. Just hurry up. We're so close.
Let's see. It's nice to hear that she has some ambitions, though, considering how hard she works. I do nod and take a careful sip of my coffee. By now it's cooled to the right temperature, so I begin to drink while keeping an eye on the book below, trying to read at the same time. A few minutes pass quietly, and Yuko looking out the window and watching the world go by while I have my coffee and study. A moment catches my eye, and I look up to see Yuko smiling and waving to someone outside. Following her gaze, surprisingly reveals the someone to be Hanako. She looks at us from the side of the street, across from where we are. Her usual all-too-available timidity is largely absent, probably thanks to being so few people around right now. Evidently, she tries to join us. After a little wave, she gives a quick glance down the street and crosses forward to the side that the cafe is on. Not much. Like, most of it's just, Yuko talking to Hanako, or, Hisao about the, history lessons and crap. The familiar doorbell to... There's not really much you missed, right, Simple?
Hudson.
I know she's trying to keep up with the story, though. To the Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Hi, Hanako. What's up?
Nothing. Just going for a walk since the weather was nice.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here thanks to that. Better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I looked at Yuko, who nods in response. It's nice. It's a shame that the summer can't last forever. Oh wait, sorry. Would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head. Thankfully, it's enough to calm Yuko down.
How are you going with studying?
Okay-ish. Oh, have you talked with Lily? I'm interested too. How she's doing?
She's enjoying it, I think.
I think that we're all going to get of her being around Yuko is tensing her up. Ah, it'd be so nice to travel to Scotland. Green fields, castles, lovely small towns, men in kilts, interesting history. I can't see the appeal of men in kilts myself, but it does seem like a picturesque place. As they're taught, the jingle of the doorbell rings again. Hanako is startled, noticing Yuko's panicked expression at the prospect that she might lead customers to wait a handful of seconds to do her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow, then hastily skitters over and greets the new customers, an elderly man and his wife. I watch her for a bit, craning my head around to get a good view. Hanako is staring at me with her one eye visible. She averts her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. Yuko was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. It's a shame. If she wasn't so neurotic and overworked, I think she could be a really happy person. As much as I like to play host to Hanako and entertain her a bit, I do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distraction from Yuko helped either. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted. I need to try it and get this done. Otherwise, I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I'm left running my hand through my hair in frustration. That letter needs to be done as well once I get back to my dormitory. I hope I have more luck with that than this. Damn.
What with?
Oh, I was going to write to Iwanika. Right now, though, this is more important. All I've done is rattle myself. I can't focus on work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning at the prospect of actually attempting to write her back. After all this time, I force myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pen once again once I have a quick sip of coffee. After a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back in her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to do, looking out the window to pass the time. We stayed at this for a long time before leaving for the dormitories together. I'm surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Iwanako's letter lies on my desk beside a blank sheet of lined paper and an unused envelope. Tapping at my pen is the only thing heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turns out to be just as difficult as the first, if not harder. It's been so many months since we even saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like. Yahoo! It's me! Iwanako! And what she acted like. By now, though, the little details are beginning to slip away. When I first saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was gone until her writing reminded me of it. I wonder why she didn't use it for the letter. She used to write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too immature now. I should be thinking about myself and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though. On the past we shared before it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly garish decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Picking up the letter to take a closer look at it, I give a long sigh. It's the... You still there, Simple?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw the stream starting to act up. Last link binding me to my past, Iwanako didn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time. But I needed this letter to remind me of that. I had those ceilings neatly filed away. I felt as if I didn't need them, that I could just begin life completely new. It was easier that way. In the end, I suppose that was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up to me one way or another. But what am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for bringing me closure. All the letter did was in the sense of closure I previously felt. Try as I might, I can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. I can't even think what exactly to say. I wanted to say. Putting the letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gathered the materials together and filed them away in my drawer. The clunk the desk makes as it closes makes me momentarily tense in frustration before I get up to go grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that passed, I still don't know how to deal with Iwanako. I'm gonna guess that's the last transition. Or one of the last few. I'm gonna guess that's one of the last. Do you want to go ahead and end it here?
I've been saying for a long time we're super close.
Do you just want to finish the route tonight then?
Yes.
Okay. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more than busy than usual. The exams are not far away, and that's reflected in the number of students burying their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. I've been studying for quite a while in the past few days, and just like them in hope of doing well in the exams. This also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she's been studying as well just to fill the time. Nevertheless, I found myself forsaken by her on this particular day. The textbook in front of me is remained on the same page for some time after so much on subjects I couldn't care less about. If not for the exam, my mind is beginning to wander. I find my eyes looking over to where Hanako would usually be. Just like on days like this, she wasn't in class. Her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here we first really met. I tried to start a conversation with her. She got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. Was it the Ren route next? Don was asking.
You said you wanted to save the Rin one for last because it would be the most confusing, so Shizune.
Okay. I probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays, it's more important and more difficult to imagine her doing such a thing. Even with Lily gone, she's been doing well now that she's come out of her room. I want to talk with her, or at least play another game of chess. I've been trying to study, and it's been a few days since we've really done anything together. The question of where to find Hanako isn't a particularly difficult one. If she's not in the library, chances are she's either in the tea room for some peace and quiet, or in her dormitory room. Deciding to check in that order, I pack up my books and make my way out of the library. I stretch and give a loud groan as I walk down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I feel I've made, there's also some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. I guess that is indicative of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. I try knocking lightly to make my presence known, but I am surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. Do I need McCree?
Not yet.
Okay. Hanako. With a small crack, the door opens. It seems that my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting at the table with an open book in front of her, but patient though he is, she keeps looking out the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she can't look like this more often. Smiling a little, I walk up to her and softly speak to her. Good evening, Hanako. Hanako's head turns a little to see me, but she's only half there. I put a hand on the table and lower my head to better look at her face, mildly curious about what mood she's in. What's up? She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako is blushing really heavily. Her mouth is open just a little as it paused mid-sentence. Most striking, though, is what she's doing. She's looking directly at me. Her eyes are pinned on my own from such a close distance that I can almost see my reflections in them. They don't turn away nor move at all. They're absolutely still looking into mine. They're dark and giving her an almost analytical air. Even when reading on subjects she has no interest in, she would appear to be rapid in her work to a casual observer. She absorbs information very well, and even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind their eyes that I've never seen before. I don't know what it is, though. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, silently mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something but won't say it. But that's the way Hanako always is. On the verge of saying something, but never quite doing it. As I look intently in her eyes, I realize something. Everyone has their own thoughts, things they want to say, their own worldview. But I can't work out what Hanako wants to say, and I can't work out what she's thinking. I've never been able to. It's frustrating. It feels like I don't know her at all, despite all the time we've spent together.
So...
It's only now that I find myself blushing. I've been looking directly into Hanako's eyes from such a short distance with absolutely no regard for her, and she's been looking into mine without shrinking away. I quickly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does the same. After another awkward silence reigns. I hate these. At first I accepted them as a fact of life, being a fact of life around Hanako, but now they just feel like an affirmation of how little we're able to communicate.
Some anger makes its way into the complex mixture of emotions I'm experiencing right now. I want to bridge that gap between us. Friends shouldn't have to tiptoe around each other like this. I speak before I can argue myself out of what I'm going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's, and I can't possibly compare my life to hers, but I want to show her that she's not alone. Doing this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. I take a deep breath as I prepare myself. This could backfire badly, but I feel as though if we've come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to strip naked or anything weird. I'm just going to take off my shirt. Hanako's eyes grow to the size of saucers. Her face makes an amusing mixture of curiosity and nervousness as she stands. It helps take the edge off my own nervousness doing this in front of another person. Slowly, with my entire body feeling tense, I unknot my tie and begin to loosen the first button. We get to see them. Awesome. That's kind of cool. Trying to mentally block out Hanako to make this easier, but it's not really working. As I work my way down, I expect to hear some form of protest from her. She remains silent, though, which makes this deal even stranger. With the last of my shirt unbuttoned, I take a deep breath and look at her. Hanako's gaze just sticks on my scarring, as expected, and once I nod it's okay, she steps forward and tentatively places her hand on the vertical line running down my chest. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across the surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted.
This is...
The scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeons had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart.
I never knew.
Hanako's words are calmer and softer than usual. The soft feeling of her fingers moving from my scar to my breast makes me hesitate a little before continuing on. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital.
Why are you showing this to me?
I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could accept my past and move on. I wanted to show that to you as well. She nods. From her reaction, she seems to know how difficult this is for me. More than anything, this scar represents a visible reminder, a reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something until now I've tried my hardest to ignore. You still there, Simple?
Yes.
Okay. The stream just stopped. As the minutes tick by, Hanako's gaze lingers. Her eyes look less focused on my scar than before. The situation feels a bit different than it previously did. It makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats and I draw my shirt close and begin to button up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to its typical tense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie. Feeling off-put after such an unexpectedly intimate moment. So, I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Hanako smiles a bit at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a bit.
Thank you, Hisao. I think I understand.
With a long sigh of relief, I didn't really know how she'd take it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. I'm finding the path I want to follow now. What Hanako needs to do is find her own. It's something I can't help her with, and it's something that she needs to overcome her past in order to do. Hanako checks her watch. It's getting late by now.
Hisao?
Yeah, I better get going. I'd be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako.
Good night.
I make my way out of our room into the hallway, remaining silent as I do so, thinking both of us have gone through a few emotions today. I can skip it. The heat of the summertime beats down on my sweating brow, dabbing with a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me more comfortable. Giving up on the idea of getting more done today, I stop and lean against one of the overpass fences, resting my bag on the ground. The stores in town below Yamaku are well stocked and offer a variety for me to get by, but at least on the occasional shopping trip to the city isn't something that can really be avoided. I've been here a few times now. The city's layout is getting more familiar, and the nostalgia from its atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realized that I began to wheeze. I sound like an old man that's overexerted himself, and having to connect that to the fact that I'm the source is a bit disturbing. I put my hand on my chest and concentrate for a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough to cause any further problems. Thankfully, my heart is acting normal. There's no dull pain, and the beating is regular, albeit fast-paced as I recover from overdoing things in this kind of heat. I hate my body. It's frustrating to be held back, even more to be held back by the fear of my life being ended while doing something as simple as walking around the city for a while. As I ponder my health, I feel my pocket vibrating. By the time my phone's begun to ring, my hand is already fishing for it. As it runs to the screen, it shows a call number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to answer the call and bring the phone to my ear. Hello? Hisao Nakai speaking. The sound of a couple of short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is coming forward. Hello?
Hisao?
It's Hanako. Her voice is really easy to place, even if I've never heard it in a phone before. Hanako? Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up?
If you're not busy, I was wondering if you would like to
Meet up?
Yes, I mean,
She sounds very wound up about this. I can hear multiple voices in the background. It's about time for afternoon tea, so I guess she'll want to meet her the Shanghai or something. That sounds fine. Are you at the Shanghai?
I'm in the city.
Hanako's here, alone. That's a surprise. It's little wonder she's like this. If she's surrounded by people and entirely by herself. That works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako managed to stammer out the street name, address, and some basic directions to get where she is. Luckily, it's not too far, so I agreed to see her soon before hanging out. I look at the sky. The summer heat's beating down. It's the first time Hanako has asked us to do something together beyond a simple board game. It's the first time, at least that I've known her, that she's come to city by herself. Maybe this means that Lily was right. By the time I managed to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I started to wheeze again. I'm sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle and can barely hold my bag in my hand. I need to sit down, badly. The tables outside are occupied by busily chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashion of the people here and the people from the town near Yamaku is striking. I scan over at the tables but can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must just be missing her. Not difficult seeing how small she usually tries to make her presence. I'm looking at her again more slowly this time, taking particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. It's pretty distinctive, and I'd be surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low, and the table she's sitting at is right beside the building in an inconspicuous corner. I walk up to where she is to make sure that I have her attention before I sit, lest I give her a scare. She notices me and gives a small wave so I arrive at her table.
Are you feeling okay?
I try my best to laugh it off, but doing so just makes me more out of breath. Not very fit these days. Don't mind me dying. Hanako nods, but still looks a bit off-put. Now that I can get a good look at her face, something about her seems different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kind of nice. So her eyes move upward to look at me before quickly flicking down again. I begin to think this is going to be a rather quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives and sets down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It's amazingly practiced motion and does a good job of its intended purpose, hiding her scars from someone who's leaning close. Her right arm is still laying on the table, though, with the scarring on the back of her hand quite visible. It catches the waitress' eye, and I quickly move to distract her. Excuse me, may I place an order? The waitress nods and gives me a couple seconds to look at the menu. Could I have a mango smoothie, please? She nods before almost enthusiastically bouncing inside. Everything is so different in the city in more ways than one. Hanako looks back towards me and adjusts her hat a little. It's as if she noticed the waitress staring at her cigar. She doesn't show it.
Not coffee?
I think I'd die from this heat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken back a bit. Very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside me as soon as I realize her reason why. Not like most Yamaku, indeed, unlike anyone that I'm aware of, my condition goes beyond limiting the activities I can do. Or to be more precise, breaching those limits could have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's just something rare that comes up since I know Yamaku. I thought it'd be so rare that Hanako and Lily might not think of it at all. It turns out I was wrong. Hanako silently drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, confirming that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins in earnest. I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence, and in the past I've been kind of hard on Hanako for those. Eventually, the same waitress bounces up, handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket and drop it into her waiting hand before she goes off attend to another customer. Eyes linger on her, she walks away.
Do you think that she looks pretty?
Hanako is following my gaze, taking her eyes taking in the waitress that served us. I can feel my blood slowly going to my cheeks as I rest my smoothie on the back of the table. Nah, I can't really say that I'm into that look. She just looked like an old friend I knew before I had a heart attack.
Did you have many friends?
I had a few at my previous school, though I wouldn't say a lot. The four of us just seemed to hang around together after school and stuff.
Do you still talk to them?
I shake my head. No, we gradually lost contact as I was stuck in the hospital.
You're not saddened by that or angry?
Hanako was genuinely surprised. I guess it's the right reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamaku, I found new friends as well. That's quite a whitewash of my feelings. Of what my feelings were back then. I went through some dark times during my stay at the hospital, and I really am glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left it. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoy our drink. She seems to have calmed down since I arrived, and I've started to feel a little bit better that I've had the chance to rest a bit, so it's getting to be a nice outing already. Even if she's calmer than before, she still fidgets a bit. She runs her hand down one of her bangs as I try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How'd you get my number?
Lily gave it to me.
I should have guessed. You know, you could have just asked. I've given it to you. Want to exchange email addresses? Hanako nods, setting down her drink and fishing in her phone from her pocket as I do the same. Surprisingly, the same model as mine. Pink, though. Nice phone! She looks at me with a curious expression before noticing my phone and giggling. It's one of the few times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing.
I didn't pick it out myself, though.
Oh?
It was a present from Lily. I never really needed a phone, and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas, though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch.
They see each other basically every day anyway, both in and out of school. Then again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It's probably best for situations like this, too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily's a very special person to you, isn't she?
She is. I love her very much.
Monica looks down and smiles. She thinks of her. None of my friendships were as deep as theirs, and I have to admit to myself that I'm a little jealous of that relationship. We tell each other our email addresses and thumb through our respective phones, and then I get Hanako's number from earlier and put it in my contacts list.
Done. That makes 3 now.
3.
Lily, Akira, and you.
Ah, Akira. She's an interesting person, isn't she?
She is. She's also really nice, though. Her suit makes her look a bit cool.
I'm a little surprised that you know each other well, what with her job taking up so much of her time. Monica looks down a little and takes another sip of her drink. If I wasn't looking intently at her face, I'd miss all the small smile perched. I guess she knows so few people that she knows must mean a lot to her.
How many do you have?
Me? About 9 or 10. I hesitate to go into them for fear of rubbing in the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents or apparently even close relatives. 2 of those are Midnight and All Might, 2 of which are another can of worms. I imagine Lily would have more than both of us put together probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle and I can't help but smile. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me. At times like this, I feel like I'm getting close to talking to her true self. Do you mind if I ask you something I've been wondering? Mariko shakes her head. She takes the last sip of her tea, finishing it off. You don't seem very jealous of Lily having a lot of friends. Don't you want to make some friends yourself or get to know some of hers?
I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind not having many friends.
That's not really the answer I was expecting. She doesn't look fearful or sad she said this, but rather quite serious. Hanako rubs her arm awkwardly, having taken my quietness as a reason to continue. I'm not really sure what I should say, so I end up just giving her my attention.
In middle school, I got bullied a lot. I was called names and got excluded from work groups, sports teams. There were worse things too.
And that's what made you not like other people? She shakes her head.
That was elementary school.
I feel bad for bringing this up. No adults should have enough problems dealing with Hanako. Scarring children would be all the worst. I had assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her, or because she was afraid of them. Certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place. I know the feeling, Don. I noticed the condensation from my neglected smoothie forming a little puddle around the bottom of the cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. As I drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. It looks like she remembered the people around her again and begins to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone. I had to save up for quite a while to afford one when I got mine. If Lily went to a private school, she probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for a present, though. Watch her fiddle it. That gives me an idea. Hey, Hanako, wait for me. I'll be right back. I put the now empty cup down, slipped my phone in my pocket, and began to move off carefully, stepping around my bag. I placed it on my feet, thankfully sitting around while talking to Hanako had helped me feel a lot better than before.
Wait, what? Where are you going?
Just stay here. I'll be back in a bit. As much as I'd like to have jogged back, I know full well that I couldn't. I ended up walking back to the cafe, a little blue bag in my right hand. Hanako notices me quickly, looking about as confused as she did when I left. I deposit then immediately the bag in front of her and sit back down.
Is this...
It's for you. You can open it.
But...
Go on. She looks very unsure about it, but eventually gives in, slowly opens the bag and picks its contents out. A silver chain phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. It isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's about as much as I could afford. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's kind of reaction I was hoping for. The summer's light glints off the silver as if to twist it to and fro a little. It's not too ostentatious, but it looks a little charming. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap onto the table and looks at me once more.
It's not Christmas or my birthday.
It's fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it might be nice to have something to decorate your phone with.
I don't have anything to give you.
I told you, it's fine. Friends can give thanks to each other like this sometimes, right?
Friends.
Monica lowers her face so much that I can't see her expression. She eventually nods, taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. She looks at me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with the little flower.
Thank you, Isao.
Her smile proves infectious. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple get up and leaving. That reminds me that the bus back to town below Yamaku will be coming soon. It is, Dawn. I guess I'd better be going if I want to catch the next bus back to town. You come in as well?
Yes.
She hastily nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I left beside me on the way out. We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station, exchanging no words between us. Hanako's gaze firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy when I go. I'm not sure what I should say to her, but I'm also not sure what I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy and happy because of me is enough to make load on my arm feel light as a feather. Finally reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories, I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row, Hanako seat. It's empty, and after glancing around there, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here, and the two seats to the left of Hanako's as are Midnight and All Might, but that's about it. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. It gives me at least a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously. Ever since our trip to town, Hanako's been on my mind. I still don't know what to make of my relationship with Hanako. I like her, I can admit that much, but I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to cope, or to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? There's also the possibility that I'm completely misinterpreting Hanako. Not a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seem to be so undeveloped. The sound of footsteps coming at the door making me perk up. It ends up just being Miki. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make contact with her. I'm about to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. I feel myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This is an irrational reaction, but I have no idea how I should react or what should I say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet. Not that, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. As it is now usual for the period following classes, my face is very deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes natural to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamaku. Until now, I largely managed to coast through on talents alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako since we hadn't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent the time studying, though. Aside from the pathetically small snippets of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, I want to be there for her, but every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away.
Are you busy?
Hanako! My head whips around surprised, causing her to retreat in fright. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at that very moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get a feeling that Hanako can notice as well as I sigh and close the book. What's up?
I was just wondering what you were reading.
She looks a little downcast after my reaction to seeing her giving up on the sake of getting any more work done. I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook.
Has it helped?
It helped me realize that I don't like English. Yeah. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things I wouldn't see if I were not at least some distance closer to her than when we met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what to do, what I do, and don't know about her. It's slightly depressing topic.
Is something wrong?
If I want to know more about her, maybe I should just stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lilia as an equal rather than constantly being in fear of causing her to become upset worth times, so maybe I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question?
I don't mind.
I wanted to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamaku. She hesitates, I only brings her back on, but she seems to have taken the question quite seriously. I stand and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me and almost looks like she's trying to argue with herself into letting herself open up to me now. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I asked.
Okay. But in return, you have to tell me about your life as well.
I nod and follows her as she begins to walk out of the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from the few people hovering around the club rooms, the hallway is largely empty. So I guess we'll start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see. I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamaku Academy. The doctor told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamaku, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time.
It must have been hard for you.
Well, yeah. I have to admit it was. My parents were both working long hours and full time, so